Hello, first grade. Today we're going to work on our second skill for Unit 5, Week 3. The story this week is called Dot and Jabber, and it's a fun animal fantasy, and it's also a mystery. So you're going to enjoy reading that. So we're going to work on our second skill. Our second skill this week is about word endings. And so let's look at a word that we've already learned how to add an ending to. And then I'm going to tell you how we do it today when the word ends with a silent E. Now what I've done is written my base word in red. Can you read it? Clap. The base word is important. When we add an ending, we read our base word first. All right, so base words with an ending change the meaning of the word a little bit. My base word is clap, but when I say claps, I'm telling you that it already happened. Excuse me, I said that wrong. I'm telling you it's happening right now. Let me use an example. He claps for his friend. It tells us it's happening now. Let's try the next word. Clapped. Do you remember what that ed ending means? Let me say it in a sentence and see if you can figure it out. He clapped for his friend. When I add the ed, it means it already happened. Now let's try the last one. There's my base word again. Clapping. It means it's happening now. He is clapping for his friend. Now we learned how we needed to add another consonant when we added the ed or the ing to the base word clap. But today we're going to use words that end in a silent E, and I'm going to show you how the spelling changes. All right, now we're going to move to the bigger chart that I've created. Let's read the title together. Word endings. Now I've separated them 4 ways. Do you see them? I used blue this time to identify the base word. Remember, the base word is important. That's what you read first. Then we're going to practice adding an S. We're going to practice adding an ED. And we're going to practice adding an ING. Now remember, this lesson focuses on a base word that has a silent E. What do we do with that silent E when we add an ending? Let's start with my first word example. Save. Save is my base word. Now when I add an S, I keep my silent E and I just add an S to it. So it goes from save to saves. Read that with me. Save, saves. Now I've taken my save base word and I'm going to add an ED ending. Now the formal way to say it is that the E is dropped to add an ED together. But when I look at it, I just kind of remember, oh, I use my base word, which is save, and I add that D. So you can think about it either way, whatever makes sense to you. Saved. You can pretend you dropped the E and you added the 2 letters, or you can add the D. Saved. And the last way is the ING ending. ING means it's happening now. Look what happens to the E. It gets dropped. To add the ING, you drop that silent E. Let's read the 4 words together from start here to the end. Save, saves, saved, saving. Okay, let's go to the next word, hope. Remember, these base words all have the silent E. Hope, hopes, I add my S. Hoped, I add my ED. Hoping. Hoping, I had to drop the E altogether. It's not there anymore. Remember, when you write a word and it looks strange, it's probably wrong, and you need to try your spelling again. Let's go to the next one. Joke. He jokes with his friend. It's happening now. He joked with his friend. It already happened. He is joking around right now. Now remember, which word ending drops the silent E? Can you tell me? Was it the S or the ED or the ING? It was the ING. I dropped the E to add the ING. The next base word I'm going to read is smile. Can you find it on the screen? Smile. Smiles. It's happening now. Smiled. It already happened. Smiling. It's happening now. And which ending needed to drop the E? The ING. Okay. Now the last word doesn't have a silent E. It has 2 consonants that end. So let's try our word endings now when it doesn't end with a silent E. So the base word is pass. Passes. Do you remember what happens when we have a double consonant or two consonants at the end? We add the ES. Passed, we add the ED. Passing, we don't need an E. There was no E in the word to start with. Passing. All right? Good practice, guys. Now I have one more way that we're going to practice this skill together. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to put my new chart on the board. Now I'm going to sort words today. Okay, so I'm using word endings, and I'm going to sort words by words that drop a silent E when an ending is added, and base words that don't change when an ending is added. All right? So words that have no change when an ending is added, and words that change, so they drop that silent E. If there's a silent E in the word, it gets dropped to add an ending. Okay, let's work on this side first. The first word, base word, is speak, and then I add the S. No change. Speaks. The next word, the base word, is buzz. Okay, I wrote those base words in blue. Buzz. But I want to say that it's happening now. The bee buzzes by me. I had two consonants, so I added my ES. The base word didn't change, I just added an ending. The next word is scrape. He scrapes his knee. The silent E was there, and I added my S. The next word, mixes. My base word is mix. Why did I put a dot there? I put those dots there to remind myself I want to say something a little bit more about that word. When we learned about the X ending, we learned we needed to add an ES, not just an S. Speaks, we just added the S. Mixes, we had to add the ES. Okay, it didn't have a double consonant like buzz, but it still follows the ES ending. And the last word, takes. Take is a word with a silent E. I didn't have to change it. I just added the S. Now let's come over here. We're either going to add ED on this side, or we're going to add ING, and the rule is that the E is dropped. Let's start with the first word. Now, if you just read my blue letters, it looks like back. But remember, I was going to drop the E, so the base word would have been bake. I drop the E, I add the ING. Say baking. She is baking a cake right now. My base word here would have been rule. See it? Rule. I dropped the E and I added the ED ending to say that it already happened. The king ruled over the land. It already happened. Now I changed the way that I was writing the base word because I thought it made more sense to show you the base word and how the silent E was dropped. So my base word is rise. When I want to say rising, I use the sound spelling, drop that silent E, and add my ING. The sun is rising. Blame is my base word. Base word has a silent E. I need to drop it and add my ED ending. He blamed me for breaking the toy. Blamed. And the last example I have today is drive. Drive is my base word. It already has a silent E. But when I add the ING, I drop that E. Driving. If I was going to say drived, he learned to, well, I was trying to use drived in a sentence. Excuse me, because I don't want to start over recording first grade. Thanks for being patient. If I added the ED ending, I would drop the E and add the ED. Okay. Thanks for not making me start from the beginning and re-record. Sometimes Mrs. Coppola has to slow down and process what she's saying. All right, friends. So we practiced word endings today. What to do when a word has a silent E. And again, it's going to help you complete your paperwork, page 145. And it's also going to help you read the story about Dot and Jabber. See you guys soon.